Yeah, so how much do the big agencies make in the UK? Now, this is public information. You can search for yourself in Companies House and you'd be able to figure out what the large organizations are. When we're talking about the large organizations, we're talking about Michael Page, which is a international recruitment agency. We're talking about Reed. We're talking about, Ambition, which was one of the biggest ones in the healthcare recruitment business. But there's those are the big organizations. They work in a big structure. What do they make? Millions. In terms of revenue, they make millions. They have thousands of people who work for them in terms of the in-house staffing I'm talking about, and in terms of supply, where use your imagination if they're supplying worldwide. Huge market out there, which is why these huge organizations exist. However, there's a lot of room there's a lot of room for smaller organizations to operate here, because one of the things which the big organizations can't or don't understand is the localized market. And the localized market is where the smaller organizations, the smaller agencies come into effect. This is where you can make a huge impact on the industry. If you work within a certain geographical location, the people, organizations, because of the marketing campaign, because of the background which they have and the presence which they've had for years and years, a lot of people, if they have the lazy approach, they will always go for the big organization. But as I've mentioned in one of my previous videos, is most people are always likely to give a new person a trial or a chance, provided if they are good enough or if they can prove themselves to be trustworthy and good enough. And the only way to prove yourself to be trustworthy is to be able to convince your client that you can do that. Now, how do you do that? That's through sales. And sales is something which we've talked about in other videos, and we will talk about in other future videos also. But it's something that you need to really look into if you don't already, because without sales, you're not going to be able to do anything. But as I say, that's another discussion for another time. In the meantime, what I would say to you, although the large organizations will make millions of pounds in revenue, and they support a whole network of organizations around the world, you don't have to look at the big organizations at this point of time. If you want to start off, then start off small. We all did. That's the only way to start. The man who took 1,000 steps took the first, well, the man who walked 1,000 miles took one step first, and this is what you have to do. So look at your local geography. Look at the industry which you want to get into, and my advice is a healthcare industry, because it is a growing industry and it's going to be growing for the foreseeable future. From what I can see, this is an industry which you should get into, and you certainly will make a dent in that market if you focus and are consistent in your approach.